What is Chengdu? Sit back, grab a tea, and let me tell you. Welcome to Elyse Explaining China with your host, me, Elyse Ribbons, or as my Chinese fans know me,柳素英. Why am I doing this show? As you can see from the production value, or lack thereof, this is an independently produced program. Really, it's just about me and these awesome experts that I know sharing a little bit about what we know about China with you. So in today's episode, the very first episode, we're going to talk about my adopted hometown, Chengdu, China, the capital of Sichuan province.
成都是你来了就不想走的城市。
这座城市非常的具有包容性。
I love Chengdu. It's super inclusive and super cool.
Now, you may have never heard of Chengdu before, but you definitely know about pandas and Sichuanese cuisine, which Chengdu is the home of for both. But what you also might not know is that right now, the opening ceremony is tonight here in Chengdu for the Universiade Games, or the FISU University Games. What you also might not know is that Chengdu is the capital of cool in China. And that's not just me making a very subjective statement. That is a factual assessment based on the number of internet celebrities who are based here in Chengdu. They sort of are the influencers for a lot of music, a lot of culture, and certainly fashion and other internet phenomena. Chengdu is also the tea drinking capital of China. They drink more tea than any other city, plus some. And it's also the number one location of independent tea shops and independent coffee shops. There are more than 10,000 independent tea shops in Chengdu alone, plus another several thousand independent coffee shops. Yes, there's your Starbucks and Luckin and all those, but there's also a ton of independent, cool little coffee shops that are actually quite pricey, which goes to show that the locals are willing to pay that extra bit more for a fun environment and unique experience. Literally, the reason I chose my apartment complex is at the bottom of it, there are more than 12 different independent coffee shops. All very different, all very good. So today I've invited one of my friends who is an expert on all things Chengdu to come and chat with us a little bit more about the history of Chengdu. Hey y'all, I just want to introduce you to my dear friend, Zhong Shushu. Now, Zhong Shushu is an expert in all things about Chengdu and Sichuanese culture. So I'm very excited to have a chance to chat with him today about what exactly Chengdu is. So I began by asking Zhong Shushu where the name Chengdu originally comes from, and he shared that in the Qin dynasty, as they were creating this city on the far reaches of their border, they decided to name it Chengdu, which means literally to become a capital city or to become a big city. And then, of course, I asked Zhong Shushu what he thought of Chengdu. And he responded like almost everyone else I interviewed. Chengdu is a relaxing, wonderful, fun, enjoyable city where hedonists love to live. Also this false conception of Chengdu as this relaxed, laid-back city with a slow rhythm to life. But actually, people in Chengdu tend to work really hard, but then play really hard too. So this is where I asked Zhong Shushu about the history of sports in Chengdu. Chengdu is currently trying to become sort of the sports cultural capital in China, and I'm curious, when did this actually start? Well, according to Zhong Shushu, it started millennia ago during the Warring States period. There's been a healthy history of sports going all the way back then. I then asked Zhong Shushu his thoughts on the University Games. And he had a response similar to what most of the people I've spoken with, which is that they're very excited about it. It's good for the city in the long run, even though he later went on to complain extensively about how he was unable to get tickets. Sure. I was able to get tickets for the Beijing Olympics in 2008, which was much harder and very different. But I also didn't really try to get the FISU Games because it's a university thing, right? I was a university athlete and that was fun and all, but no one else outside of the university ever really came to our fencing tournaments, right? Even though Coach Miller is like a god in the fencing world. That's besides the point. Go Heels. Anywho, I'm certainly looking forward to going to a sports bar and maybe watching an event with some friends over some nice local beers. But I do think it's really fun looking at all of the different ways that the FISU games and that sort of athletic jingshen, that spirit of the FISU University Games is coming across in social media. Here, let me share some videos with you now.
我是谭维维，好久不见了。我觉得成都确实就是一个来了就不想走的地方，有很好吃、好玩、好喝的。
Thank you for joining me today for our very first episode, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye.